Pretty much at the end of every day was the end of the day. I went home with a clean slate. I tried not to bring my problems home with me. So when I locked the doors at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, I was done. Got back to work at 30 or 7 o'clock in the morning, surveyed the yard, and had physical and mental notes on everything there. If the parts weren't ordered yet, I had the parts ordered. I made a list for every technician of what their assignments were first thing in the day. This is the order I want you to do. If there were going to be inspections that I knew about, they had that information. And if they had to push the car in the bay and push it back out, they had to do it because I needed my inspection so I could order parts. Come noon, I was making all my phone calls. And normally my jargon was, I'm on final approach. You're going to see your car finished by 3 or 4 o'clock. And unless something happens, I shouldn't have to call you back. If there's an issue, I'll call you back and give you time to make other arrangements. By 3 o'clock, I'm looking at everything in the yard and deciding what's going to leave and what's not. If it's not leaving, then those phone calls had to be made. And if they were leaving, then the invoices had to be finished and there was agreement they were going to pick them up. And so that was my routine. What's leaving and what's not, no later than 3 o'clock, and then finish up end of day. Make the invoices, make the calls, maybe push power around inside the shop so I can finish the job, whether two technicians were working on the same vehicle, one on a window and one on a tire, whatever. I wanted to finish the job. If I can get it finished and out the door, that's what I did. That's how I did it. I was doing everything myself, dispatching, ordering parts, and observing the jobs. So all of the inspections had to be done by 10 o'clock. If anybody came in without an appointment and I thought that I could give them good service that day, they had to leave it with no expectations. And so most of the time I could get it done. If there was an alignment, would let the alignment guy know early up, I want this done by the end of the day. So he could plan on it, maybe come back from lunch early or knock it out between assignments. So without an appointment, I didn't make a firm commitment that I could finish it, but I wouldn't turn it down, leave it. And let's see where we're going with it. If we could finish it for that day, we finish it. If it was an alignment and the vehicle had parts that were worn out and it wasn't going to align, now it's up to me to sell the job and they could have it back or they could leave it. Either way, I'm promoting that job. And I figured whether they got it fixed today or not, I was doing them a favor by giving them the opportunity for an inspection without an appointment. In those days, there was a lot of work coming in. And so it was a juggling act. But if you're on top of it and what's there and what's leaving, it's just part of the day, part of the flow. You can do it. I think that what I see on some of the repairs in the shop is that the tickets are pretty big. So there might be multiple things that we're doing to a vehicle. And if that's the case, then we've just bought that car for 3 or 4 days. And so turning over the other small jobs quickly, it hinders the flow. So I think that you can only have so many big jobs in the shop during the week when I was running it, because most of the flow was 2 or 3 hour jobs and everybody could finish 3 or 4 of those a day. So that was my flow. That was my volume. And I did work on volume. And if they were big jobs, the customer is just going to have to understand that I could not leave a technician on it for 3 or 4 days at a time. I would have to break it up a little bit. If somebody was doing an engine, I try and leave them alone or in the middle of a transmission. Because once you get cold on a job, now you don't know where the wrench is or where the bolt is or where was I last. So that's why I didn't try and take too many big jobs in per week. If you have 3 engines apart all at the same time, you have no time for the small jobs. And it just shuts you down. So that's scheduling. And that's why you have a schedule. You have a schedule. It's not for the customer. It's for you. Make that schedule work for you. And you can, since you're the boss, you can change that schedule anytime in a day. And you call the customer whether it's going to be ready or not and say, it's not leaving today. Sorry. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if I knew I had a check engine light coming in or an emissions problem, I am not going to give those jobs to the front end guy or the guy that does brakes. So the suspension and alignment and brake jobs went to one guy or another competent person. Definitely the technicians that were trained in emissions and computers or anything electrical or technical, they went to them. And that's part of the schedule. is knowing when they're overloaded or not. And so if your heavy line guy is tied up in an engine, I'm not taking on any heavy line stuff. I may take on a water pump or something, but I'm not going to tear down timing chains because now I have too many big jobs apart in the shop today.
Go on to the next big job.
That's right. That's right. Again, it's all about scheduling. What can I handle? When I started out working in 3 bays, and if I didn't schedule a good flow in and out of 3 bays, it could be tied up for weeks or 2. No cash flow. Absolutely. If you have to push a job out and push it in, you do it. I've had technicians who just didn't like doing it. And it's like, get out of the way. I'll do it. I'll push it out. I'll push a new one in. I don't care. Because I'm going to keep my flow. I know what I need. I don't care what you want to do. I know what I need. And I need that car out, this car in. I need my inspection done on it if I'm going to sell it. So it comes down to me. When I was running it and there was no other backup, I know what I need. And it's going to get done. And if it can't get done, that's on me too. And that's why you're in control of the schedule to say, okay, this is not happening. Didn't happen. The tires didn't come. All right. We have it all torn down. Okay. And so again, it comes down to end of day. What am I doing today at the end of the day? What's leaving, what's not? And with that attitude, more times than not, I was leaning on a post, washing my hands and waiting for the customers to come in at the end of the day because it wasn't overloaded. There was no panic at the end of the day.
Anything else you want to say on all this stuff?
No. I still get up. I'm 73 years old. I still get up every day. I come to work. I put on a work uniform. And if I can give somebody my advice, whether they want it or not, I'm going to give it to them. And if I can help somebody out with a broken bolt or my experience, what good is it if I can't share it? So I still love my job.